I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magob, it is time for the only news that matters. And the Best of All Worlds tour is coming your way. It features Sammy Hagar, his wife Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham on drums, and Joe Satriani on guitar. And they were on Howard Stern, and oh my God, what a train wreck. Did you all see this train wreck? Oh, and you know what? I am not surprised because I have never been a Joe Satriani fan. I don't get it. I've been to so many of these G3 shows where he headlines, where I have to sit through his boring set just to see all the guitar players come out at the end and basically own him. He did Summer Nights and it was sloppy. It sounded like his first attempt. You know, this guy taught guitar players that ended up playing way better than him. Again, just my opinion, but man, Joe Satriani never, ever, ever did anything for him. But at the same time, I can't think of a better guitar player to play these crappy Vangina songs. And you know they don't have the permission to say, hey, this is a Van Halen tribute we're doing. So, you know, if they did have the permission, they would take it upon themselves. Well, really, Sammy Hagar. Michael Anthony's just his little coattail rider. But Sammy Hagar would have loved to call this tour the Van Halen tribute that was supposed to happen, that he wasn't originally invited to. And then later on he's talking about how, oh man, I'm not supposed to make this. Like, he's bitching like they're coming down on him to make an Eddie Van Halen tribute. Nobody wants him there. You know, so now he's going out there and, you know, and Howard Stern, he claimed he's still going to be doing his Sammy Hagar solo songs. So I don't see the difference between this and what he's been doing all along, playing, you know, solo songs and Vangina songs where, they're going to throw a couple more deep cuts? And Joe Satriani, man, when he played Summer Nights, that was embarrassing. It was horrible. It sounded like he just learned it like a minute ago. It sounded sloppy, horrible. The guy's soulless. I don't get it. And yeah, then he attempted to do the intro to Mean Street, and it's like, man, okay. But you know what? It's going to sell. It's opening down here in West Palm Beach. I'll be sure not to go. Loverboy's opening, so if I do get a free ticket, I'll go check out like 3 Loverboy songs I like. Only the Lucky Ones, Turn Me Loose, and Working for the Weekend. I see Loverboy play those 3 songs, and it's time to go home because I'm not going to stick around for Sammy in case I was to jump up on stage and beat the living crap out of him. I don't want to go to jail, so definitely going home after Loverboy. So they go on Eddie Trunk, and of course Sammy has to start babbling about Alex Van Halen. And on Howard Stern he said, oh, we invite Alex Van Halen and David Lee Roth to come play anytime, one show, it doesn't matter. He says that because he knows Dave would never agree to that. It's just Sammy's little way to try to make Dave look bad. The same way Gene and Paul with the End of the Road tour talk about, oh, we want Ace and Peter. We asked them to come join us to play for a couple songs with us. We've asked them. And now they're kind of different. They're like, no, we wouldn't put them up on stage because we'd sound like piss. You know, because after all, they did ask Ace and Peter, and they both said, well, how much you going to pay me? And they didn't want to pay them the amount that they wanted, and they declined. And now but they don't bring that part up. They just bring up, hey, we asked them. You know, to make Ace and Peter look bad. The same way Sammy just lives to try to make Dave look bad. And just about every interview, he's always bashing on Dave one way or the other. So Hammy Sagar was asked by Eddie Trunk if there was any attempt made to see if Alex would be interested in taking part of the Best of All Worlds tour, and Sammy said 100%. Jason insisted upon it. I will not say yes to do this thing until you get Alex to say yes or no. Alex hasn't returned my calls for 5 years. I've called. I've left messages. I've left texts. I've left emails. I don't think Al really wants to go out and play. Otherwise, they would have did it with Joe when they were thinking about doing it back in 2021. Yeah, when they were thinking about doing it without you, Sammy. Anyway, he goes on to say, Alex never played with anybody ever except his brother. He never jammed with anybody. The whole time we were in Van Halen, Mike and I will be out playing clubs with Eddie Van Halen, jumping up on stage. And Alex would be standing on the side of the stage and looking on. So Sammy says, it's time. Nobody else is going to do this Van Halen tribute thing. So, you know, if David Lee Roth goes out, he can't sing my stuff, but we can do a few of the early Van Halen songs. I have no problem with that. Actually, you do have a problem with it. You can't sing early Van Halen songs. And Dave won't sing your Vangina songs because those songs suck. And he admits on Howard Stern that for 5 years, Sammy Hagar has been calling Alex Van Halen and leaving him voicemail once a month for 5 years. So he claims. So after 5 years, him calling Alex Van Halen once a month for 5 years, and he still doesn't get the hint that, hey, Alex don't want to talk to you, dude. Wants nothing to do with you. And of course, Sammy won't say it now, but, you know, back in when Chickenfoot was new, Sammy loved saying to the media, oh, Jazz Satriani is way better than Eddie Van Halen. He said that countless times back then. Oh, Joe's way better than Eddie Van Halen. He kept saying it over and over again because, you know, Eddie was alive and he wanted to piss Eddie off. Look, I got Joe Satriani and I think he's better than you. Of course, he won't say that now that Eddie died. I've heard him say in many interviews, Eddie Van Halen, the greatest guitar player ever. That's why it baffles my mind that nobody ever challenges Sammy Hagar in interviews. And what even baffles my mind more is the people that actually say, Sammy's a great guy. He's awesome. It's like, man, don't you guys pay attention or you just don't care? Not saying all Vangina fans are like that. There's a lot of people that love Vangina and love me bashing Hagar, which is awesome, you know, but you know, people actually, I've heard people say, Sammy Hagar's an awesome dude. The guy's a piece of crap. You guys are blind or you're just not paying attention. Yeah, you know, like, what's the difference between your wife and Sammy Hagar? After 5 years, Sammy Hagar will still suck. That's right. You know what the difference between Sammy Hagar and a vampire is? A vampire only sucks at night. Sammy Hagar's 24/7. What has 7 arms and sucks? Def Leppard, but Sammy Hagar is even worse than them. Anyway, thank you all for watching The Only News That Matters. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring the little notification bell. Let me know what you think of the Best of All Worlds Sammy Hagar tour. Are you going? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Does it suck? All comments are welcome. Unless you're a pickle whistler and attack me, then I gotta make you disappear. And like the video, it's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath. Sammy Hagar sucks. And Joe blows. Smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.